Hello students of grade 12. We are in the chapter 12, that is biotechnology and its application, and this will be the last video for this chapter. Okay. So in last class we discussed on the molecular diagnosis and gene therapy. Today we are going to discuss on the application of transgenic animals. Why is it necessary for the manipulation of gene to animals? If we manipulate the gene of animals, then we call transgenic animals. Okay, some of the applications. Then where do we use those transgenic animals? Okay, it is found that today we have transgenic pig, cat, mice, dog, cow. Okay, we have so many animals which have been produced by our DNA technology. But among them, 95% of the transgenic animal is mice. Okay, 95% is transgenic mice. We're going to discuss why mice is very important. Okay. Now, first important thing is that normal physiology and development. What does it mean? You know that the gene is responsible. Okay. If we have a transgenic animals, we can know like how the genes are regulating, okay, and how they affect the function. Okay, we know that a DNA has a gene, and this gene will produce RNA, and this RNA will produce protein. So, with the help of transgenic animals, we can study the normal physiology and development, how the genes regulated, how the genes function, and how they affect during the developmental process of the cell. Next is study of diseases. We can also make disease model. Okay, a model animal, transgenic animal can be used as a model, where the disease have been seen in the case of animals. Okay, as say human beings. Okay, if human have a disease, we cannot just treat the patient. Okay, even though the vaccine has been developed or even though drug has been designed, we just cannot inject to the human beings. So we need transgenic animals, okay, for the purpose, that is to study the diseases like arthritis, okay, like cystic fibrosis. Okay, so we can make a transgenic animal can be used as a model to study the diseases of human being. Okay, the third is biological products. We have so many biological products. Today, with the help of transgenic animals, we can produce useful proteins. Okay, useful proteins can be developed. For example, like alpha-1 antitrypsin, that is can be used for treatment of arthritis. So these are all considered as recombinant proteins. Okay, for example, interleukin-2, which can be used for the treatment of kidney cancer. So these are recombinant proteins. So with the help of transgenic animals, we can produce biological products which are useful for the human beings. The fourth one is vaccine safety. Once the vaccine has been developed, it has to be injected to the transgenic animals. We need a model, we need an animal, okay, having the same diseases. Okay, so for the polio vaccine, when the polio vaccine was developed, we used transgenic mice. In the transgenic mice, a polio vaccine was injected. Okay, so see, these transgenic animals can be used as a safety before given to the human being, before going to the human trial. If the vaccine works in that transgenic animal, we can go for the human trial. Okay. Next is chemical testing. Chemicals are synthesized, and some chemicals are very toxic. Okay, and these chemicals cannot be like drug. Once we design a drug, it has to go for testing, and those testing can be done on the transgenic animals. Okay, so these are some of the 5 important points which you will find in your textbook. Please, I want all the students to get through of that and then make a detailed notes of this. Okay, Now, so these are some of the recombinant proteins like DNase1, cystic fibrosis. So these are diseases, okay? And there are so many more, okay? I want all the students to go for your own research, okay? And then try to search. So this will be your assignment, okay? I'm not going to give a written assignment. So when you watch your video, this will be the last video. So I'm reading out the assignment for you, okay? The assignment is that you have to search at least 10 recombinant proteins, okay? 10 recombinant proteins, okay? And those diseases that will, in which diseases that we use recombinant proteins, okay? And when you search those 10 recombinant proteins and those diseases related with it, okay, design a rDNA technology steps, okay? Design a rDNA technology steps. Take any one of these recombinant protein and design a steps by yourself. How to develop that recombinant proteins. If you say that you want to produce interleukin 2, go from the first step of rDNA technology. Gene isolation. How will you isolate the gene? So, a prepared model, okay? Schematic model. And this can be done only when you go from chapter number 11. Listen the explanation properly, step by step, and then the assignment is you have to collect all the 10 recombinant proteins, disease related, and then select any one recombinant protein, how to develop, how to design this recombinant protein in a flowchart manner. Okay? I hope you understood the assignment. And the last topic that we're going to discuss is the ethical issues. So there are some ethical issues that now there's some regulation. As a human being, we just cannot manipulate the gene of any organism. Okay? Not that we can do for plants, but we cannot do for organisms. If those genetically modified organisms were introduced into our system, in our normal ecosystem, then there may be some chance unpredictable results may be the outcome. Okay? Now today, if you go for research, okay, the recent COVID-19 viruses, some scientists says that it is a mutation has taken place, and now they become harmful to the human being. Okay, so we don't know the real story, but still, okay, some scientists are started predicting that maybe because of the using of those microorganisms, manipulating the genes of microorganisms can be harmful to our ecosystem, to our human beings. Okay, they may become more powerful, or I would say that they may go certain changes to defend themselves. Okay, so ethical issues. So now the government of India ethical issues. Okay, ethical issues. So the government of India, that is called GE, Genetically Engineered Approval Committee. This is very important. Okay, so this we need an approval for doing any genetically modification researches. Okay, if any plant or animal have to be genetically modified, we have to get approval from the government of India. That is controlled, okay, run by the Genetically Engineered Approval Committee. Okay, after that approval only certain research can be done. But human being, we cannot do any modification to any of the organisms. You know that rice is one of the most stable food, grain food that in India that we use. In every household we eat rice as one of the food. So this is very important. And in the genetically modified, like for example, golden rice. This question was asked in 2019 NEET also. Golden rice, okay? It is a genetically modified rice which is rich in vitamin A. And these vitamin A are useful to fight night blindness disease, okay? So in golden rice, in normal rice you may not get vitamin A. There is vitamin A but less amount. So we need nutritive value, okay? Nutrients that provide, that benefit the human beings. So there are so many products of rDNA technology, okay? For example, like golden rice, which is a gene that is taken from the daffodil and microorganisms. Another term, the last term is called biopiracy. Okay, biopiracy. So this is very important. Okay. Now, there are developed countries and underdeveloped countries. Okay, those which are developed, already developed nations. Okay, they have very rich financial. They have a lot of money. Okay, lot of money, but they don't have biodiversity. Very limited biodiversity. Whereas underdeveloping nation, whereas they are poor maybe, but still they have bioresources. And these bioresources, okay, the use of those, okay, bioresources by the industries, just the industries, or by the organizations or multinational companies, if they use bioresources and they produce the products with the help of the traditional methods by the rich nations, okay, that is called the biopiracy. The controlled use of bioresources, okay, and it has certain, benefits. Benefits like given the, I'll just use that term, but just a compensatory payment. Compensatory payment to the poor people. If any multinational companies or developing nations, if they use bioresources, then they must give some compensatory payment to the poor people, okay? Maybe the land, the bioresources they use, the water, okay? Or the plants, okay? So by using those bioresources, and if they develop, okay, products, then they have to follow certain compensatory payment, okay? So these are some of the ethical issues. So in this 7 to 8 videos from lesson chapter number 11 to 12, okay, there is a principle and process and there is an application. I request all the students of grade 12, okay, to focus this paper properly, because it contains very high marks in your exam also, and even the NEET examinations, this question will come around, both the chapter will, by combining that, around 5 questions will come, which will give you 20 points for your NEET examination also. Okay, so having a basic concept of this chapter is very important in these modern generations, in the point of medical applications. Okay, so if you have any doubt, kindly send a message, okay, kindly call up and then clear your concepts. Thank you. See you again.